Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. How's everyone's garden doing? Have you gotten it out yet? I understand that there's some of you that are from the Great White North, and maybe it's just really too early for you folks. But I think for a lot of my listeners, they're going to be able to be planting, already have started, or definitely getting started now. Because we're into the 1st of May, and it's just that time. I was actually going to do a little our garden update today because it's really starting to look good, but the 5 inches or so of rain that we had within a 12-hour period has caused our garden to you just sink to the ankles. My wife and I walked out there today, and yeah, you just sink down like that because the ground's so soft and everything and wet still. So we won't do that today. But I did want to bring it up because as much as all of the other stuff that myself and many others talk about, that's the world falling apart, that may be exciting news, that may be, spark our interest, almost to the point of an addiction, and we have to be cautious of that. But if we're not doing anything about it, if we're not consuming that information, that content that's being thrown out there of how bad things are going, if we're not taking that and putting it to good use, then what is the purpose of it? And so every once in a while, I want to encourage you to actually turn it into something good, which, producing food is certainly one of them. And we're in that time of the year. I mean, it's always amazes me. I mean, I've been living like this in the Ozarks my whole adult life, but really most of my childhood. We never lived in a big city, only for a while. We lived in a small town, but always spent my childhood and adult years in the woods, in the gardens, and hunting and fishing and camping and everything else. So I'm used to it, but yet I'm not, because it always amazes me how you go from the dead of winter, and then when things start to green up, it's like it comes on a little bit, and then it's like you wake up one day and everything's green, the leaves are out, and it's just, you almost forget that it wasn't there just days ago. And that's what it seems like around here. So it is time to be doing that. Time to be, getting out and, trying to find stuff out here to eat too. Wild foraging, it's something that's necessary. And of course, planting stuff. The reasons why I encourage you to be producing your own food are really many. Obviously, one is that food prices are gone up. Another one is that the availability's gone down. Also, just the stuff that they put in. I mean, they're going to use food as a weapon. They have many, many times throughout all of history around the world. And it will be used as a weapon again here in the United States. You won't be able to purchase food without a certain mark or a certain passport or a certain thing in your body, on your body, or something like that. And unless you want to get those things in and on your body, which I think most of you don't, then you better be able to produce your own, find your own food. But it's also not even to those extremes. It's also happening right now where the vast majority of stuff that's sold in the grocery stores that's called food is not food at all. It may have some food or food-like ingredients, but it's not. Back a few months ago, there was a news article about this company that was working on splicing pig genes into soybeans. I mean, there's all this gene editing, bioengineered food out there, but they were trying to splice pig genes into soybean so that they could make the soybeans more flavorful when they use those soybeans to create fake meat. It's just, this is beautiful, isn't it? Doesn't it make you just want to go out and just chomp down on one of them soybean steaks? The interesting thing is, and this is not fake news, this is not make-believe, it's true. You can go out there and look it up, because this is going to sound like that, and it's not a conspiracy theory. That the company that's doing this, they're called Molek. Yeah, Molek, like molecular, but also could be like the other word that's Molek. I'm just throwing that out there. This is the kind of stuff that they're doing. Tyson Foods, as you know, I've said many times, they've teamed up and purchased the largest bug protein company. So they're taking mealworms and crickets and all this other kind of stuff that's not human food, and they're grinding it up or doing whatever they're doing to it, and they're substituting it into meat so that it increases, or meat products so that it increases protein. We're seeing this everywhere, even a place like Aldi's, where, and I'm not promoting them, I haven't in the past, I'm certainly not anymore, or not now, but a lot of people always went to Aldi's if you had one around, because number one, it was pretty economical, but they always had all kinds of like natural foods there. Even before the whole organic, grocery store boom came out, Aldi usually had some pretty good natural stuff, except now if you look at the vast majority of their foods that they're selling, on the back of it says all bioengineered. I mean, even a lot of these prepper, patriotic type emergency food companies. Yeah, it says right on the back, contains bioengineered food. This kind of stuff is everywhere. I've talked to big beef ranchers down in Texas. I've talked to farmers all over the country. Many of them have emailed me. And so many of them have told me that they know for a fact that mRNA, there we go. I'll get it out right, mRNA. They know for a fact is making its way into the food system. That it may not be required or anything like that, but they know for a fact that a lot of beef cattle are being injected with it, and that a lot of food is getting that in there. They're testing right now. It just came out, what it was just a few days ago, that they've been testing milk. They've been testing milk for the bird flu. Sorry, slipped my mind for a second. The bird flu. They've been saying that something like 20% of the milk that they tested, we're not talking milk from in the farm, we're talking milk in the grocery store. It's already gone through all the pasteurization process and everything. And this milk that's in the store, 20% of it has this bird flu in it. I mean, the next thing they're probably going to be doing is testing beef. They'll be testing beef, and then they'll say, well, it's in the beef now, so we got to get rid of dairy cows and we got to get rid of beef cows. That's probably what's going to happen. It's not a prediction. I'm just saying that that's probably what's going to happen. But it's an abomination. 3 years ago or so, I don't remember exactly when, but I think it was around 3, maybe 4 years ago. I made a video, and at the time it kind of sort of fell on deaf ears. I mean, definitely some people reacted positively to it, but it just didn't get watched a lot. It was probably YouTube restricting it back. But my video was basically about how I believe that there's a direct correlation between all of these elites that want to be gods, right? I mean, even the World Economic Forum, that Noah Harari, that's the chief advisor to Klaus Schwab, all of those people have said that they view themselves, these elites, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the George Soros and the Bush families and all of them, they all view themselves as really a separate species, as gods, okay? So follow with me, because I'm going to talk about food with this. Then you look and see how they're trying to create all of this food that's not actually food. You see, because up until just a short few decades ago, every bit of food that a human ate on anywhere on this planet was all originated by the Father, the Creator, the Most High. He created it, He gave it to us. And so the very thing that gave us life on a daily basis came from God the Father, right? And so I think, I have no proof of this, but I think these elites, they see that. And they're like, if we ever want to, rise to the occasion and be a god, a little g god, we have to also be able to provide the very sustenance for human life, food. And so that's why we're seeing, I believe, that's why we're seeing all this bioengineered, lab-created abomination of food. It's not natural, none of it is, and people are eating it up. That's why we're seeing obesity rates and cancer rates and heart condition rates through the roof. All of this stuff is, it's wearing us down. And I've even seen so many people that are the preppers and the homesteaders, and they're still eating all this garbage stuff, this soybean and seed oils and processed garbage that's just keeping you on the pharmaceutical system. It's keeping you under the thumb of the government because it weakens your body. It gives you poor health. And I'm telling you, you can have all the guns, you can have all the cool stuff you want, but if you have poor health, you're not going to make it very far. And we've got to be focusing on that stuff, folks. You need to be producing your own food, raising your own animals, raising your own, protein, your chickens, your goats, your sheep, your cows, your rabbits, your pigs, if you eat that stuff, and then your own vegetables, all kinds of stuff, right? We need your fruit, your berries, your nuts, everything, all the stuff that you need to eat. Now, is your diet going to have to change if you were to live completely off what you produce? Absolutely. But the American diet is a relatively new kind of diet. 100 years ago, people ate that way. They very rarely got something that was not produced or grown in their area. And they were healthier, and we need to get back to that. There is a psyop when it comes to our diets. There's a psyop when it comes to our food. Just recently, a few months back, one of the Bill Gates organization foundations or something came out and said that Skittles were healthier than eating beef and pork. I mean, than eating just meat, okay? That a bag of Skittles or a bag of M&Ms or something like that was actually healthier than eating meat. That's the most lunacy and idiotic thing I've ever heard. But yet people believe that. They believe that it's safer. It's safer to eat this processed stuff that man created than to eat something natural that God created. So producing your own food isn't just about prepping. It's not just about a little stopgap for when the system fails for a while. For me, for our family, for our community, producing our own food is a way to be healthy. It's a way to eat what God created for us, and not to eat what man that thinks they're gods is creating for us. To stop eating all this processed stuff and focus on more local, natural foods that are grown around you. So I really, really, really want to encourage you to be producing some food. Now, if you haven't got your garden out, and where you live you're able to because of the climate, then you need to hurry up and do it. I mean, you probably still have that window of opportunity. Most places, unless you go really far south, you can still get your first garden in by between the 2nd and 4th week of May, and you'll be fine. If you get it in by June 1st, that's a little late, but you'll still be fine. And that, of course, that varies from growing zone to growing zones, but I'm just generalizing. But you need to get out there and do that kind of stuff. Build relationships with local farmers and farmers markets. Go to those local farmer markets and befriend the people, and go to your Amish, your Mennonite communities and other communities like that, and become friends with them and build relationships, bartering relationships, because you're going to need it. We need to stop eating this garbage, folks. It's killing us, literally. It's literally killing us. And the only reason why humans live so long anymore is because our bodies are being propped up with all this pharmakeia medicines that they're shoving down everyone's throat to try to counteract all the poisons that you're eating on a daily basis. Get out there, eat healthy food, raise your food, grow your food, preserve your food, move around, lose some weight, get healthy. I've done it. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I used to weigh a lot more. I still got weight to lose, but I've lost about 60 pounds. And we ate healthy before, we just weren't doing it right. And I'm telling you, you need to get yourself healthier and stop eating all this garbage and produce your own food. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.